Okay, good evening, everybody. It is Tuesday, July 21st at 6:30 PM. I would like to call Grand Chute Sanitary Commission meeting to order. Can we have a roll call, please?
Haling.
Here.
Daly.
Here.
Lear.
Here.
Garing.
Here.
English.
Here. Please all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. And to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can I get approval of the agenda and order of the day?
Gearing moves approval of the agenda in order of the day.
Daily seconds.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Is there any public input?
There is none.
Okay. Can I get approval of the consent agenda?
Haling moves approval of the consent agenda items 1 and 2.
There seconds.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. How about the financial reports? Can we get an approval for that?
Gearing moves approval of the paid vouchers for July 21, 2026, and accept the budget reports from June. There seconds.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. We're up to item G, new business. Sanitary Phase 1 upgrades, geotechnical services RFP award. Our action tonight is to approve or deny awarding the Phase 1 upgrades, geotechnical services RFP to Terracon Consultants Incorporated in the amount of $60,300. Director Jolma, do you want to add to that?
Thank you, Chair. So this project was previously approved back in February for design bidding and construction staking services. So as part of the design, we put out an RFP for geotechnical services and got 2 proposals back. The results of the proposals are summarized in the memo, and Terracon Consultants presented the lowest proposal and are the recommended for this work.
Is there a motion?
Haling moves approval to award the sanitary Phase 1 upgrades geotechnical services RFP to Terracon Consultants Incorporated in the amount of $60,300.
Daily seconds.
Is there any further discussion or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Item number 2, 2026 Sewer Rehabilitation Contract Award. Our action is to approve or deny awarding the 2026 sewer rehab contract with alternate number 1 to Visu Sewer LLC in the amount of $99,200. Director Jolma again.
All right, thank you. So this is our annual sewer rehabilitation contract. This contract includes cleaning, grouting of manholes and sewers and cured-in-place pipelining. For this one as well, we also received 2 bids, with Visu Sewer coming in significantly lower than the other bidder. We did have budget to also award the alternate that we added in this one as well, which is just some additional cleaning in some other locations.
Is there a motion?
Haling moves approval to award the 2026 sewer rehabilitation contract with alternate number 1 to Visu Sewer LLC in the amount of $99,200.
Is there a
Gearing
second?
seconds.
Any further discussion or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Item number 3, 2026-04, Village in the Meadows Lift Station Replacement Contract Award. Our action is to approve or deny awarding the 2026-04 Village in the Meadows Lift Station Replacement Contract to Advanced Construction. Director Jolma?
All right, thank you, Chair. So the Village in the Meadows lift station project is part of the approved capital improvement plan to replace the lift station with a new below-grade submersible lift station. So the town did receive 3 bids for this project, with Advanced Construction submitting the lowest bid at approximately $705,000. With this bid, it did come in about $370,000 over what we had originally budgeted for the project. The budget was based off of 2023 engineering estimates prepared as part of a lift station condition assessment report throughout the town. We did work with the design engineer to review the bidding costs, and we determined that it does reflect current market conditions, and that the timing of the bid, the design, and the configuration of the below-grade lift station were not significant factors contributing to the higher cost of the project. Working with finance to fund this overage, based on the last agenda item, we came in a fair amount below what we had budgeted. So we're looking at transferring $60,000 from that sewer maintenance account. And then the remaining balance would come from funding of the sanitary number 2 fund balance, which actually will pay for the entire remainder of the project. And with this transfer, the fund balance in sanitary 2 is projected to remain approximately $640,000 above the town's minimum reserve target.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Haley moves to approve the award, the bid to Advanced Construction in the amount of $704,961, and also both budget transfers.
Is there a second?
Lair seconds.
Are there any further questions or discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We're up to adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Next on the agenda this evening is the Grand Chute Town Board meeting. I will call that to order at this time. Can we get approval of the agenda and order of the day?
Gearing moves approval of the agenda and order of the day.
Lair seconds.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? That motion carries. Is there any public input?
There is Chelsea Simpson.
Can you step forward, please, and state your name and your address, please?
Hi, my name is Chelsea Simpson.
Hi.
Hi. So I went to the last board meeting. It was about my bartender's license. They asked me to come here, even though it was approved at that board meeting, just to bring a letter on behalf of my counselors and some certificates of completion that I have as well. Would you like me to read them, or would you like me to give it to you?
I think probably not. Can you present them to the clerk, please?
Yes, ma'am.
You know who that is. Do you have any further witnesses, Chelsea, or just the letters from your counselors? Do you want him to speak as well? Or was he not prepared to?
I think he can if you want him to. I just didn't know.
No, I'm just asking.
I do have like a written letter from my mother as well, but she's not physically able to be here because she's in Virginia.
Okay. You can present that to the clerk
Okay.
too. As
I
well,
just
if
gotta
you
grab
want
my
to.
phone. It's in
Okay. Oh, okay. We can handle that later. Are you complete then? Did you want to say anything else?
Just that I've put in a lot of work to change my entire life in the last year or so. My housing, friend circle, everything is completely different now. And my dad spoke on that a little bit last time, and my counselor can also attest to that. Never missed counseling. I've completed 3 programs now, and it is important to me.
Okay.
So, thank
Thank you
guys.
very much, Chelsea. Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
No, that's it.
Okay. Next up, we'll have a presentation from Fox Cities Chamber Regional Partnership. Go ahead and step forward, please. Can you
Hi.
state your name, please?
Yeah, good evening. Eric Broughton, Vice President with the Fox Cities Chamber.
Jack Krakowski, Economic Development Manager at the Fox Cities Chamber.
So first off, I just want to thank you all for having us here today, just to give you a brief overview of what we do at the Chamber, and give you an opportunity to ask any questions you might have. Starters, the first slide, I just wanted to point out we've been in existence since 1874. So we just had our 150th anniversary 2 years ago, just for a little background there. And moving forward, here's a little outline and a map of our region. So we cover 2.5 counties, which does make the Fox Cities Chamber the largest local chamber in the state by geography. We cover all of Calumet County, all of Outagamie County, as well as northern Winnebago. And aside from the geographic, we are also the largest chamber by membership with over 2,000 members. How that relates to Grand Chute, of those 2,000 members, 244 of them are right here in Grand Chute, making it the second largest municipality that we serve behind the city of Appleton. And of those, just over half are what we call Connect Free members. And Connect Free, we were the first chamber in the country to offer free membership to small businesses. We did this during COVID, so we started in 2022. And our criteria is any small business with 5 or fewer full-time employees, if you're a nonprofit with 10 or fewer employees, or if you're a freestanding restaurant, you qualify for this free membership and all the benefits and resources that come with it. We also serve as the economic development organization for our 2.5 counties. Some of the benefits there, economic development wise, we do business visits. So our goal is to go out to see as many businesses as we can every year. Doesn't matter if they're a chamber member or not. And all we're trying to do is find out what they're doing, how we can help assist them to grow and succeed. If they're going to move or relocate or expand, we want them to do it right here and stay in our region. So that's our main focus with those. We're here to help businesses grow. They have opportunities through the chamber to network, to help get their name out with ribbon cuttings, different marketing opportunities. Leadership, we know that's super important. We've got the most robust leadership program of any chamber in the state with over 6 programs dedicated to leadership, not even including our Young Professionals organization, which has over 800 individual members. And we do separate networking and professional development programs for those young professionals targeted at people that are 40 and under. And then lastly, we are community builders. We try to convene and bring together our business community, our municipalities, our schools, and our other nonprofit organizations to all work together as one. I'm going to turn over to Jack.
Thanks, Eric. So I just want to talk a little bit about what we do for economic development at the Fox Cities Chamber. We work strongly on the piece that Eric touched on, business retention, business expansion projects. We also provide wage data so that local companies can make sure their wages are competitive. We help with companies wanting to relocate in the Fox Cities and help them get connected to municipalities and kind of figure out which properties and lots are available throughout the Fox Cities. And like Eric touched on too, we really are working on making those connections with the school districts, the municipalities, the businesses, and really bringing that all together. We also do promote available municipal sites through our website. So why it matters, and if you saw on that last slide, I included a picture of the temporary signage that we work on. We really want businesses to be able to maintain their business and keep everything in order during construction. I know there's a lot of construction going on in the Fox Cities, so that's an important piece to us. We always are trying to help the businesses out. Businesses from us are receiving trusted local support. Employers are gaining access to workforce and economic data. New businesses are getting connected with the community, getting connected with the municipalities if they haven't already. And existing businesses are having us as a partner as they grow. And then another piece of that is the municipalities gain a partner in us working with the businesses. I just want to share a few data points from ACCE, which is the Association of Chamber of Commerce Executives. It's a national chamber entity. They did a poll through the Harris poll that states that 81% of Americans say that chambers are trusted organizations. 90% of Americans believe their local chamber has an impact on growing the local economy. And 74% believe the chamber creates jobs and promotes local community development. So those are really strong numbers, and we hope that we're having that impact in our community. And just a few things before we finish up. I just want to touch on what we're looking ahead at into the future in the next couple of years. We want to keep supporting existing businesses. We want to keep strengthening workforce initiatives, getting people through leadership, learning those leadership skills, and transitioning into new roles. We want to be able to promote our development sites in the Fox Cities, and we want our business community to grow. And we want to continue collaborating with municipalities and making sure that everything is going well for our businesses. So thank you again for having us here. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer anything. If not, feel free to connect with us afterwards. We're always happy to connect. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric and Jack.
Thank you.
Any questions for the chamber? Thanks so much for your
right, thanks for the
presentation. We
opportunity.
appreciate it. Can I get approval of the consent agenda?
Ailing moves approval of the consent agenda.
Daly seconds.
Any questions or comments?
Just one comment. One of the items in the consent agenda is the junk dealer's license for Gulper Supply Company. And we did have that agenda item. The clerk is going to report on that. We had that in our license committee meeting this afternoon.
Do you feel that there needs to be a report now, or can we approve it with the? just
It
the
can be
consent?
approved. The license committee made a motion to approve it,
Okay, okay.
to recommend approval to the
okay.
board.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments, questions? All those in favor of approving the consent agenda as written, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We're next up to financial reports. Can I get approval of the financial reports?
Gearing moves approval of the vouchers for July 21st, 2026, and to accept the budget reports for June.
Lair seconds.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Next item in the agenda is a public hearing regarding vacation of a portion of West College Avenue frontage road. At this time, is there any public comment? Is there anyone who wishes to speak to this item? Are there any questions on this? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Gearing moves to close public hearing.
Lair seconds.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Item number 2 is TBR 162026, final resolution for street vacation. Is there anything further you wish to add?
I have nothing, thank you, Chair. I have nothing
Okay.
additional to add above what's in my staff report. Be happy to answer any questions
Okay.
if there are any.
Can we have a motion to either deny or approve TBR 162026?
Ailing moves to approve TBR 16/2026.
Daly seconds.
Any further comments, questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Item number 3 is Plan Commission recommendations. Special exception permit, SE 022026, requested by Catalpa Health and Faith Technologies Incorporated, 4741 North Lindale Drive, for operation of a nature-based immersion and wellness center. Director Petza?
Thank you, Chair. The Plan Commission held a public hearing at their meeting earlier in July, and Plan Commission does recommend approval. Be happy to answer any questions if there are any. Thank you.
Sure, thanks.
Gearing moves approval of SEO 7-2026.
Lair seconds.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Item number 4, consideration of reinstatement of an accountant position for the Finance Department. Our action tonight would be to approve or deny that position. Director Palmquist, do you want to speak to this?
Thank you. The Finance Department is requesting the reinstatement of the accountant position that was removed effective with the 2026 budget. Historically, this role performed essential functions including bank and account reconciliations, grant reporting, audit preparation, payroll and accounts payable support, accounts receivable, internal controls, real estate inquiries, backup for the administrative clerk, and tax payment receiving. Although the position was not renewed during restructuring discussions, the department's workload, reporting requirements, and audit timelines have not decreased. Finance has moved from 3.75 FTEs in 2021, 4.75 in 2023, 5 in 2024, then down to just 3 in 2026, which is a 40% reduction in staffing. The election clerk position, which has remained vacant throughout 2026 and will be discontinued in 2027, was intended to handle front desk customer service coverage and serve as the primary processor of tax payments in December and January. With that role unfilled, both responsibilities have shifted back to the Finance Department, further increasing workload and reducing capacity. During the most recent audit, the town's auditor specifically recommended reinstating the accountant position to strengthen internal controls and support timely, accurate, and compliant financial operations. Although it is not the norm, I feel it is important to fill this position before the end of 2026 so the new hire is available for the tax season in December and January and has time to learn the town's financial systems. Early onboarding is essential for assisting with year-end reconciliations, closing the financial statements, and preparation of audit schedules, which occur in January. From a funding perspective, the elections clerk position that is being discontinued was budgeted at $55,600 per year. The accountant position is estimated at $118,500 salary and benefits annually, with 30% of that allocated to the utility funds. This results in the general fund cost of $82,950. With $55,600 covered by the discontinued clerk position, the remaining general fund need would be $27,350, which could be covered by the sunsetting chief building inspector and systems and network analyst positions in 2027, along with the reduced contractual accounting services needed to meet end-of-year deadlines that has been needed for the last couple of years. For 2026 specifically, only $47,700 is needed to fund the position for the remainder of the year, and that amount can be fully covered by the unused portion of the 2026 elections clerk salary. For these reasons stated, the Finance Department is requesting approval for immediate reinstatement so recruitment and training can begin ahead of critical year-end processes. Any other questions?
Yeah, are there questions? Questions or comments? Is there a motion?
Haley moves to approve reinstating the position.
Gearing seconds.
And along with that, just to comment, obviously, timing isn't, as far as I'm concerned, really the right time because it's budget time. You'd like to be addressing all these for the year. However, I understand the circumstances. I was in talking to Director Palmquist about it here last Friday, and I do understand the need, although I'm not the happiest about the timing, obviously.
In fairness to Director Palmquist, she hasn't even been here a whole year, so.
That's a true statement. Yeah.
Her timing is unfortunate but necessary. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations, the position is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 5, discussion and possible action regarding firework display curfew extension, weekend baseball games for the Timber Rattlers. We're either going to approve or deny this curfew extension. Director Joma? Do it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Madam Chair, actually, I think I'll take that if
It's
you're okay.
okay, well, I'm sorry, I apologize.
It does have fire in the title, we'll just go with it.
Okay.
So thank you. We were approached by the Timber Rattlers by Vice President Hahn to see if we could extend the town ordinance that limits fireworks till 10 p.m. Sometimes they do run a little bit late for some of their games. They wanted a little bit of a buffer. There were 6 games that were listed that this could potentially impact. The frequency of it hasn't been that they have actually had any games that ended past 10 o'clock. They just want to ensure that the fans are having a good experience and having a fun time. And we thought that was a reasonable request, so. Any
you.
questions I can answer?
Yeah. Any other questions? What are the wishes of the board?
Paling moves to approve.
Lear seconds. Discussion?
Sure.
So I don't live too far from that,
Yeah,
right? So,
me too.
okay, so, I'm not, I would just caution going until 10:30. I have neighbors that, there's nights it goes right up to 10 o'clock, and it's a pretty loud show. And I'm wondering if, I think 10:30 is a little late for that, frankly. Adding a half hour to something that, as stated in the notes, has never been a problem. I'm looking for some sort of modification for that. I think 10:30 is just too much to ask for the residents.
I live close as well, and my experience is that I think sometimes the fireworks start later than I expect them to, because I've gotten used to what time they usually start. I think it's on nights when the games probably run late. And it's a pretty short show, you know, if they have to quit at 10, maybe we could compromise and say 10:15.
Well, I'm curious if Supervisor Haling would agree to amend his motion then to, I would be okay with 10:15. I know I'm going to hear from some neighbors about this, but I'd be willing to go to 10:15 if Supervisor Haling's willing to amend his motion.
I am willing to amend that motion for this year to try it, yes.
So what I'm asking for is approval of the motion as amended. All those in favor?
Supervisor Laird needs to second the amended motion.
Sure,
Oh,
I'll second it then.
Okay.
I also agree.
Okay. Okay. All those in favor of the amended motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That mo-
Thank you, Board.
Did you say aye? Okay, thank you. All those in favor? Then that motion passes. Item number 6 is Arrowhead Park Boardwalk Pond portion. Have the right guy now?
I'll speak to this one, but I might need some help from Chief Denzine maybe. Okay, so
It's a team.
this is the pond portion of the Arrowhead Park Boardwalk project as part of the capital improvement plan for construction next year. So we sent out for design bid and construction services for this project. We sent it to 9 or 10, I think, different design firms in the area, but we only got back one proposal. The one proposal we did receive is within our budget for design, but so it works there. But we just asked and to see why we didn't receive as many proposals as we thought we might have, and I think it was kind of related to maybe this being just a smaller part of a project that was completed a few years ago. You know, it's just a continuation of the boardwalk that was replaced back in, I think it was finished in 2024. There was some other components to the design, including some electrical work that some companies would have to hire on a subcontractor to do that portion. And then maybe just the general timing didn't work out for some. But, so we did get the one proposal back, and it's within our budget, so it is recommended to award it to Grave.
Thank you. Questions? What are the wishes of the board?
Gearing moves approval of the Arrowhead Park Boardwalk RFP.
Lair seconds.
Any further comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Item 7, consideration of the request for proposal document related to architectural and engineering services for a proposed public safety building. Our action is to approve or deny that request for proposal publication. Who's going to speak to that?
I'll defer, Chair, to Chief Moss, as he's invested considerable effort in putting this RFP together and also wrote the agenda memo.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
At the June 23rd special town board meeting, we were directed to prepare a RFP related to the architectural and engineering services for proposed public safety building. And as part of that direction, we were asked to create a document that got the design to about 20 to 30% threshold, enough to fully inform the electorate about what the plans for the building are, but yet not incur the full weight of cost of design. And also put an emphasis on town hall remodeling with the resources that staff felt were appropriate. And so after that meeting, I spoke with a variety of architectural firms to understand both how this process typically plays out in other municipalities. Spoke with Director Jolma regarding RFP processes, and understood that it was highly desired to create an RFP that encompassed the entire design of the project and then break it into phases. And that offers the protection to the town that we can get to that 20 to 30% design and have a kind of a clean break if we need to, but yet a single firm is engaged to do all of that work. It wouldn't really make sense to bring a firm in to do that 20 to 30% design and then change gears to a different firm to carry on that design work beyond that. And so the RFP that you see in the packet has 5 distinct phases, and those phases are requested to be priced separately. Phase 1 and 2 are kind of go together, the project initiation, the schematic design. But following the schematic design, the town would be in a good position to provide overall information to the electorate about what the plan is, how the building might look through some elevations and renderings, as well as a draft floor plan, if you will. And the pricing of that would be very transparent. So the end of phase 2 would culminate in the annual town meeting, the electorate approval piece of the project. And if the electorate did not approve this project, then we could retain the items that had been already produced for us by the architectural firm. We would own those items should we want to revisit this project in the future, but we would not bear additional cost beyond what the firms have quoted for those first 2 phases. Now, if the electorate did approve the project that it could advance, it would move on to phase 3, design development, and there'd be cost associated with the remaining phases of that work. So the way that we drafted it was really intended to be very transparent about what the costs are and how much we would incur before that electorate meeting. There have been some discussions regarding the delivery method of the project, whether that be delivered by a construction manager or whether that be delivered through a different method. The RFP that's in front of you today doesn't address that issue entirely. It leaves, I think, some opportunity for the board to make a decision at a later date regarding delivery method. There's positives and negatives to that. I'm not the expert in that. I would certainly defer to the town attorney or to Director Jolma to weigh in on those positives and negatives about clearly identifying. The architectural firms that I spoke to said that they can successfully bid based upon the, keeping it vague, if you will, but that there could be a need to refine scope, change scope, further negotiate a contract, if you will, down the road if what they're expected to do changes from what is in the RFP today. So I would identify that as just one thing that had been discussed. And one other item that I would mention is that we've been advised by several of the firms that the timeline that we've outlined in the RFP is somewhat aggressive. It's realistic, but I don't know that we have a lot of buffer in there. And so I'm very hopeful that if there are changes requested by the board, that perhaps we could incorporate changes as part of motion and still keep this on track for approval so that we can keep the release date that we're anticipating. It would help with the timeline, certainly.
Thank you. Do we want to have the motion and then discuss?
I'll make a motion to approve this RFP with 2 amendments. The first amendment is actually my mistake from our meeting. I think we actually talked about having a construction manager listed in here to get us to that 20 and 30% and take out the possibility of having to negotiate with an architect later. So I would like to recommend that on page 2 of 11, and it's the third paragraph down where it says the town is contemplating use of the construction manager at risk CMAR method of project delivery. I would like to say the town will use the construction manager method, which I think is going to help them with their bidding in the town with having to do less negotiations later on. That would be amendment number 1. And then, of course, the chief would, wherever it addresses using this contemplating, he would take that out of there in the document before he sends it out. The second thing is for pre-trial conferences for the court. The RFP says that there'd be one room needed besides using the joint training room for court. They actually need 2 separate rooms for pre-trial conferences. 2 separate rooms are utilized at the same time, just so that that item is noted as well. So that's my motion, is approving this RFP with those 2 amendments.
Is there a second on that motion? Is there a second on that motion?
Lair seconds it.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, you said page 2 of 11. I'm thinking that it's the third paragraph is where you're talking about the reference to the construction manager at risk?
Yes.
Is that the paragraph?
Yes, sir.
And what again is your amendment in that paragraph?
It would be the town is just basically take out contemplating. The town would intend to use the construction manager way of doing this.
I actually intervened as the RFP was being put together. My thought was, and I'm not dead set on this, but my thought is that the architect could weigh in on the specific delivery method used. I also contemplate that the town will hire a construction manager to manage the bidding, put together bid packages and such. But seeing as the architect would be the first professional body to interact with the town board, my thought was that the town board might want to have the ability to consider what the architect said before choosing the precise construction manager method. Construction manager at risk is a specific subset of using a construction manager. Again, I'm not dead set against that, but that's the reason that that was included in the RFP.
So what's the significant difference in contemplating versus intent?
Contemplating versus intent, none at all. I suppose.
We still have the option to do it or not do it.
That's right. I think the initial draft said that the town will use a construction manager at risk, and we changed it to contemplating. But you're right, even subject to the change, the town board would have discretion to tweak or change or evaluate any other delivery method that it chose to.
My second question would be, at this point, is it important for us to specify how many rooms we need in this plan, or can that be amended when we get closer to the build and approving plans?
Well, I think the chief commented on that a bit. The more specificity that you apply now,
Okay.
the more likely it is that you're going to get a accurate, relevant, and comprehensive response to the RFP.
Okay.
There are always changes. In fact, the architect is likely to try to challenge you on some of the ideas that you already have. But if you know that you're going to need two, you might as well go in with two. If you don't know that yet, maybe the motion is one or two.
So I have a motion and a second. Are we ready to vote? All those in favor signify by saying aye on the
Aye.
amended motion.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you for your work.
I do have one thing I'd just like to point out. On page 5, where it talks about at the conclusion of phase 2, kind of the ways where we're going to be presenting this to the town. We have 1 or more presentations to the town board for approval of the design, 3 public information sessions, and then 1 presentation at the annual town meeting. Is this going to be set in stone, or can we add to this?
So, in addition to what we've laid out, so we'd ask for people to bid, giving specific dollar values associated with what's in the RFP. So it would be a conversation with the selected firm if there was some flexibility on that. We've also asked them to include an hourly rate sheet. So if, you know, hypothetically you wanted to change 3 public information sessions to 4, we would know roughly what the hourly rate is going to be to modify that. Through conversations with the firm, maybe they say, hey, look, it's no big deal, we'll just do 4. But worst case scenario, we would know what their hourly rate is.
So I guess the 3 public information sessions is great. That sounds wonderful. Maybe what I want to add isn't necessarily a public information session, but maybe how we're getting that information out there. Are we anticipating doing like a mailer to the town to let them know these are coming up? I'm assuming we would put it on the website and the weekly newsletter and all that, but what about like a general mailer so that people who don't necessarily pay attention will still get an opportunity to see it?
Sure. So we identified kind of those communication strategies as town responsibilities in the RFP. So
Okay.
Town staff would be
So we
responsible
can
for
still
communicating
discuss that. Okay.
information.
Thank you.
Yeah, good question. Oh, and we already voted, so all those in favor, this motion has passed. Any other comments before I switch topics? Item number 8, consideration of development agreement with Tycor Build LLC for the construction of the Foxport subdivision, a more affordable, single-family residential development. We're looking to either approve or deny the development agreement. Director Patsa?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. So this land has been under contract since 2025 by Tycor. They submitted an offer to purchase to, again, facilitate a more affordable price point for future single-family residential. That offer to purchase was contingent on a development agreement, which is being brought before the board tonight. So if you remember back in about a year ago, July of 2025, I brought a draft version of this document forward. This final version hasn't substantially changed, but there are a few things I'd like to highlight. So in my staff report, I kind of have 5 or 6 things that are key parameters of the development agreement. The first 3 have not changed at all. They're strictly exactly the same from the draft version. Bullet point number 4 is new. So if you remember, a few months or 7 months ago, we approved some funds for them to redesign one of the stormwater ponds to accommodate future stormwater runoff from Lot 13. So the amount, about $34,000 of a payment in a lump sum, would be directed to from the town to the developer to account for the overbuild for the actual construction costs. Within the development agreement, those additional costs are highlighted and called out specifically. The next bullet point has changed slightly. So the price point for these new homes, we have a little bit lower of a floor, so 300,000 to 365. I also was able to add that at least 50% of the new homes will be priced at or under 335, and that does include the lots as well. And then finally, the last bullet point, I believe when we brought this in draft version, we didn't have the restrictive covenants, so now those have been drafted and established and would be included in the recorded development agreement to prevent both the use of the homes as short-term rentals and corporations from purchasing the homes. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions, but staff does support approval of the development agreement. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions?
I'll make the motion to approve. I just want to say thanks to staff for working on this. And I appreciate the information that Director Patsa has given us now on these three last bullet points. I think they serve our community very well. It is, prices for properties and home is what it is. It's a victim of inflation, and but providing more opportunities for home ownership is one way to get at that. So thank you.
Lear seconds.
Any further comments, discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Next, we're up to consideration of operator's license for Chelsea Simpson. And Chief Moss, would you like to address this?
Real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just going to abstain. Chelsea's a former student of mine.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I wanted to provide a little bit of background and context regarding this particular license application. The police department recommended denial to the licensing committee due to a significant recent arrest record. Ms. Simpson currently has 3 open cases involving 15 different charges. 3 of those charges are related to the delivery of fentanyl. The oldest offense date was September of 2024, while the most recent was January of 2026. Fentanyl is a powerfully addictive and deadly drug that has plagued our community for many years. The police department has embraced a harm reduction strategy related to the opiate epidemic, reference our public health vending machine we have in the lobby. And we simultaneously place a strong emphasis on enforcement of existing laws. We work with our regional partners to target those distributing drugs in our community to reduce supply and ultimately save lives. We're encouraged by the post-pandemic downturn in fatal overdoses, but there's still much more work to be done. It's my understanding that Ms. Simpson currently works at Northland Pub and that her primary duties are that of a server. During the July 7th licensing meeting, Ms. Simpson advised that the committee that she needs the license in order to maintain this employment. The reason for this, according to her, is that she often works by herself towards the end of the night. And I'm concerned that the environment, a tavern late in the evening by yourself, might not be the most conducive environment for addiction recovery. And as much as I'm concerned about Ms. Simpson's welfare, I'm equally or more concerned about the welfare of those in our community. And I can tell you anecdotally that illicit drugs and alcohol are combinations we frequently see in policing. I can also tell you that we've investigated narcotics sales from taverns in the past, and I'm confident we will again in the future. And the reality is that there's an interconnection between these substances for some people. And in no way are these statements intended to suggest we have concerns about the Northland Pub in particular, but I do have very serious concerns about Ms. Simpson serving alcohol in a tavern. I acknowledge that the licensing committee recommended approval of this license on a 3-2 vote, but there's some additional information that the board needs to be aware of before making a decision tonight. In preparation for our meeting, I refreshed the background that had been done on Ms. Simpson for the licensing meeting. And in doing so, I learned that Ms. Simpson had police contact on July 8th, the day after our licensing committee meeting, where she was in possession of fentanyl and other drugs. And I'm not here to discuss all of those details in a public meeting, but this seems to directly contradict her statements about being clean and in recovery, which is my primary concern. I'm sympathetic to Ms. Simpson's situation and sincerely wish her success on her journey to recovery, but I don't believe she's turned the corner yet. And my opinion on this license application is that it should be denied. And I want to be clear, this doesn't come from a desire to further penalize Ms. Simpson for her actions. It comes from a place of deep concern about the well-being of our community and the need to stop the flow of fentanyl in the town of Grand Chute.
Thank you. What are the wishes of the board?
Haley moves to deny.
Madam Chair?
Yes, please.
Since this is, there already has been, of course, due process at the Safety and License Committee meeting, but I think because a individual who is able to demonstrate efforts to rehabilitate, we ought to give the applicant one last chance to say something if she wants, before the board votes.
Okay, certainly. Chelsea, or would you like to come up?
Thank you for giving me another opportunity to speak. So, a few things I want to address. I was pulled over. They had ripped back the carpet and found old paraphernalia in my car. This was addressed with the district attorney's office, and they have agreed not to charge me for that, on the basis if I ever get pulled over again, my car is cleaned out, and it doesn't happen. I didn't think to clean underneath a sewed-in carpet when my car was searched. I did struggle with drug addiction. I suffered from the fentanyl issues. I have worked extremely hard to change everything in my life, and I have done that. Another point I want to make is none of my charges have been convictions. They are all pending. Innocent till proven guilty is what I'd like to say. I have made mistakes, and not every charge represents every mistake I have made. I do, as my dad mentioned at the last board meeting, 2/3 of those have been offered to be dropped already before I've even gone to trial. So I'm not saying that I haven't made mistakes. I definitely have, but they're not all representative of who I am and what I've done. And I'd just like to say that and just give me the chance. So if that's even a possibility. So,
Thank you, Chelsea.
thank you.
Can I ask a question? So Chelsea, who at the district attorney's office is telling you that they're not going to charge you on this last case?
Emily Kudik, and then I have a text from my attorney saying that they have agreed not to charge those cases.
And Emily Kudik is an assistant DA?
Correct. She's the prosecutor on my case.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then my judge has also, I didn't get a letter from her, but she has given me, I don't want to say props because that doesn't sound like the right word, but she has recognized the immense changes that I've made already before even making it to trial yet. So
Can I ask, what happened that drew APD to your attention to begin with?
So I was on speakerphone with my mom, and he thought I was texting and driving, and then he searched the car from there. I didn't think I had anything in the car, so I wasn't too concerned. I also didn't expect everything to be ripped apart. I didn't look at it very closely, but I knew I wasn't doing anything, so he searched the car, and that's when he ripped the carpet back from where my center console is and my driver's seat. And I guess there was stuff down, like a straw down in underneath where the center console is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
So is it possible to table this, so we can get some clarifications from the DA's office on what's going on with this case? Is it possible to table this? So July 8th is when this happened, and we're already you're being told that it's not going to be prosecuted?
I was told the next day, yes.
You were told the next day?
Yes, sir.
It is possible. I just have a question. How far are we into the provisional license period right now?
Do you remember?
It's a 60-day.
I'm almost up, sir.
You are.
And then Northland Pub has also been bought by Green's Poorhouse. I don't know if that makes a difference, but I know another point was that late at night, being by myself, our hours are now switching to more of a brunch and like mimosa joint kind of. So it's going to be more breakfast and lunch, and we will be closing earlier. We won't be open till the bar close time within about a month or so.
So the next meeting is the first Tuesday of August. Does that keep us within the 60-day
It's on a Thursday.
provisional? It should, right? It was July
It-
7th
It was issued on June 3rd, so it'd be till August 3rd.
till August 3rd? And the board meeting in August is?
Sorry, I don't have it.
It's on Thursday.
National Night Out is the first Tuesday in August, so the board meeting will be Thursday that first week. I'm not sure what the date is.
Might be the 4th or
think it
something.
is.
6th.
6th, okay, thanks.
Point of order. I made a motion to deny this operator's license.
Did we have a second? I don't think we had a second.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes?
I'm in a challenging spot because I have a police report in front of me that has some information that does not align with what Ms. Simpson is telling you.
Okay.
So, as Attorney Rossmeisel, I guess, if it's appropriate for me to ask questions to resolve the differences or leave it where it is.
I have no problem with that. I would say it's up to the board chairperson.
I'm not very familiar myself with the licensing process. I haven't been on that committee, but I'm also wondering if there isn't another opportunity for you to find a different kind of work that would align better with your recovery, rather than working in an establishment that serves liquor.
Yeah, I applied for Dunkin' Donuts and they wouldn't hire me. I've applied at Walmart. I've applied at many places. This is a job that I had shortly before and they have continued my employment, so that is why it was important to me.
Chair, I want to hear from the chief. I mean, if we've got a report, I want to hear whether the facts line up or not. I'd appreciate an opportunity to hear from the police chief on that.
Go ahead.
The information in the report reflects that fentanyl is located in your purse and that some other narcotic pills were as well.
There was no actual drugs in the car.
Okay, so I'm just saying what the report reads. They have a weight, 0.72 grams, 2 packages, 1 in tin foil, 1 white powder substance in a gem bag.
Everything they told me they found was in the carpet of the car.
This isn't our agency, so I can't speak to the facts of the report, but I can just tell you what's in the report.
I have a motion on the floor, but I don't have a second.
When does the provisional expire? And when is the next meeting?
So regardless of what the police report says, if it's true that the DA's office isn't going to charge it out, how does the board weigh that? I mean, it happened after the 3-2 vote in front of the licensing committee. And regardless of the facts of it, if the Assistant DA, Emily Kudik, has already signed an agreement that it's not going to be prosecuted, I'm not sure how the board weighs that, and given that we've got this 60-day provisional and we're going to be beyond that, it really kind of binds our hands. I'm inclined.
Supervisor Gehring, I actually, at the licensing committee level, made the motion to deny this operator's license. And the reason that I did it is I would like to see her be successful. And she's done well, I thought, up until this point. I was concerned because there was still open violations that have not been resolved yet. And we're dealing with a time frame of about 6 months, which is not, a long time frame. And I was also concerned about the fact that you know, that an operator's license, I'm not sure is, in my mind, is not in her best interest to give her an operator's license and have her around the types of establishments that possibly can be a deterrent to her progress. So as much as it seems rude that I'm making the motion to deny her license, I'm denying it because I want to see her be successful.
Me being able to work is what is going to keep me from a homeless shelter and falling back into things that wouldn't be positive for me.
Madam Chairperson, to answer an unanswered question, Supervisor Gehring asked whether it would be possible to postpone the vote to the next meeting. I asked when the provisional license expired. The answer was August 3rd. I asked, somebody else asked when the next meeting was, and that's August 6th. The worst case is if somebody did move to table this for one meeting to collect additional information, the worst case that would happen would be that the applicant was without a provisional license for 3 days. So that is an option that you have.
Does someone wish to make that motion?
We still have a motion on the floor.
It wasn't seconded, though.
Right, but I'm saying,
Yeah.
we have it.
So just to clarify, if we denied, we could renew it after the provisional process expired. If we denied it tonight? Or it's just denied and she'd have to reapply?
If you deny it tonight, you would have to reapply, and it would go through safety and licensing again. If you tabled the vote until the next meeting, she would be without a provisional for 3 days or permanently, depending upon the result of the next vote. If you deny tonight, the clerk is required to state in a letter to the applicant the reasons for denial. And if that's the way that the board goes, I would recommend that if the board wishes to include the chief's reasoning in the letter, to the extent it can be included, just because that's a requirement of the state statute.
So deny or table? Those are our choices.
Chief, do you have anything further to enlighten us with?
I called the district attorney last week, not an ADA, the district attorney, and had a conversation with her. I was not under the same impression following that conversation that Ms. Simpson is. But certainly it's an organization that involves multiple people, and we know how communication can go. So I certainly can follow up on those conversations if the board desires.
So I'll move that we table, and I apologize for the position that puts you in, but I'm not responsible for the timing of this. I'm going to give you the best opportunity here. I'll move to table this. I am very troubled, though, that it's fentanyl. Nobody in this room needs to be told more about what fentanyl's done in our communities. And the fact that the traffic stop, unrelated, but it happened the day after, and the items were found in a purse. I'll move to table, and we can revisit this once the police chief is able to investigate more and provide more information for the board at our August 6th meeting.
I'll second that.
Further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed?
Okay.
Nay.
And one abstention. Michelle. Thank you all for your time. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Chelsea, do you want to take this?
Next, we're entertaining a motion to go into closed session. Motion to convene in closed session pursuant to Wisconsin State Statutes 19.851C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of an employee, specifically to discuss the qualifications and narrow down the candidates for the town administrator recruitment.
Mayor moves to go into closed session.
Few seconds.
Can we have a roll call vote?
Haleen,
Aye.
Daly,
Aye.
Lair,
Aye.
Gearing,
Aye.
English.
Aye. There was no action regarding matters discussed in closed session. At this point, can I call for agenda? I mean, call for adjournment.
Gearing moves to adjourn.
Feeling
We're meeting.
seconds.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.